You want to hear the Good morning. This is the BLAINEWSWORLD podcast that can be found each week on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, where you can also listen in on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You can also get more information and listen to previous shows on our website, which is kind of behind me, and that's www.blainesworld.net. I'm your host, Blaine Greenfield, and here in my Zoom studio in lovely downtown Fairview, North Carolina. Each week, we focus on positive news and information about people and organizations in both Western North Carolina and throughout the country. And toward that end, it's my pleasure to introduce Didi Anandarama. Is that close enough? Anandarama?
Yes,
okay.
Correct.
And she's with the Neohumanist College of Asheville. And Didi, you can feel free to wave to all your fans and friends who are watching this. So if you're watching this, that's Didi. And I should mention that Didi was born in Slovenia with Hungarian as her mother tongue. She came to the United States in 1974 and taught yoga in New England University campuses and went to India to be ordained as a nun in the Anandarama meditation movement. She taught meditation, yoga, and related practices along with education work in Southeast Asia and the Middle East. And I'd send too, shortly after we finish this podcast, you're going to be going to Egypt in the very near future?
Yes.
Are you teaching there, or are you just for a visit?
I have the small project there on the Nile River school in a village.
Okay, well, sounds exciting. I'm very glad you were able to join us this morning. And the first question I always ask Didi, and I see I can also call you, it's Didi. People also call you Didi Arama. Is that
yes? Just they call me Didi.
Didi. Okay. Well, Didi, the question I always ask, in terms of how you got into the meditation as a child growing up, when did you start meditating?
I started meditating when I was 19, and I was in Berlin, in Germany, and I was looking for something to find a meaning in life, and what I should do with my life. So, and I understood that meditation would help to really find yourself. So I was looking for a teacher, and that's how I found eventually one and got initiated and learned the meditation.
So as a child and growing up, you didn't know you were going to be a meditation. Did you, as a child, did you want to be a teacher at all?
No. That time I had no idea. Meditation was very far from my culture, my upbringing. Only when I was in the big city of Berlin, that first time, the Beatles brought the word meditation into the Western world, and only then we started reading books about meditation. That was in the early 70s, 1972.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because I remember that very well. And that's, I guess, I studied not for a long time, but I studied meditation. And it's so funny you mentioned the Beatles, because I studied meditation, took a course, and was meditating. But I think that was almost a negative fact that the Beatles got into it, because when they got into it, if you recall, they started talking about levitating, and you could meditate and you could go off the ground. And seriously, and I think it's such a shame, because I think I don't know about your feeling, but I think it had like a setback to the movement, because so many people were into the Beatles at the time. Do you recall them saying that?
Yes, but they were experimenting. They were, checking out what is this thing, and but also, they really brought the word meditation into the Western world, and people wanted to know what it is.
Well, and that's perfect segue, Didi. Since you mentioned it, for the benefit of the folks who don't know what meditation is, if you would, could you tell us?
So I was I was lucky to find a good teacher. And so meditation is something to liberate the mind from all the disturbances, mental problems that you have, and to really go into a deeper awareness, deeper consciousness that you are more than your body, more than your mind. You are something which is not tangible, it's not something scientific. You are something much more precious and much more divine.
And so when you started meditation then in the 70s, did that give you this ability to do all these things?
Yeah, you as a teenager, you live with idealism. You want to have answers for what is life. I'm going to be, giving my whole life, my energy to a company. Will I be, working for somebody just to live? But what is life? What is the meaning of life? So those questions, those were the ones that was driving us. Young people, we were demonstrating against the Vietnam War.
Sure.
We could not tolerate the society, how it was going. So what internally, externally, you were looking for a balance, and I found it, and I found it so much that I really dedicated my whole life to it. It helped me. The meditation practice, doing it regularly, totally transformed my mind. And I went to India and I wanted to go into this much deeper.
And talk about the meditation practice then for the benefit of the people who don't know what it is or have kind of a maybe a negative impression of what it is. When somebody meditates, what does that involve? What are they doing?
The meditation is a technique that you use in order to transform your mind. For example, if you think of something, you actually become that. It gets locked into your mind and you can become that. But if you have another thought and you can tell yourself, I am happy. So if you can achieve that happiness by just one time saying, I am happy, then the meditation works. It means like the power of meditation by regular practice, it will bring result. It will bring accomplishment.
Describe the process then, if you would. So I'm meeting with you now. I take a course in meditation or do a seminar in meditation. And then tomorrow I want to start meditating. What does that involve? What do I do tomorrow?
Okay, so you will come and you learn the technique. This is called the initiation. It means like the initial step. You will be taught how the practice works, how to withdraw the mind, how to concentrate, how to visualize, and then you are given a mantra. Mantra is a word that you repeat, because the mind always goes to different thoughts and ideas. It's like, it's like a beehive, it is swirling. And so to give the mind something to focus, and the mantra has to be well chosen, because mantra means that which liberates the mind. It has to be able to transform the mind so that when you repeat it regularly, it gives that result.
And so how long does that take?
It takes, to experience your first benefits, or you can say like some kind of symptoms of the meditation that it really works. That can be about 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month.
But even before you get to that 1 week or 2 weeks, I think you should mention the fact that some people might be scared by this, but it's not something that you have to do 24 hours a day, right? When you do it, you sit down.
No, you sit down minimum twice a day, like in the morning and evening, and do it. You can do it for as long as you like, but start with, whatever works for you. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Do it regularly and don't decrease the time. Just it is self-discipline, because in a way it's like you're working, you want something, so you start to meditate because you want to achieve something. It's not just to relax.
How do you deal with this? That people tell you, and people have told me this, that it just doesn't work for them, or they can't. I guess the real problem with them is they can't quiet their mind, or they can't sit for 15 minutes. They can't even do that. They're not willing to do that.
Yeah, you cannot do it without a technique. It is impossible. Even with the technique, always the thoughts will come to your mind. But then you will, you will challenge yourself. You will know that this really works. And so, but the mantra has to be repeated again and again, and try to hold a concentration and try to understand the meaning of the mantra. The mantra has to be able to take you to where, mantra is a tool. It wants to take you into this pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is beyond the body, beyond the mind. It is a feeling of infinite happiness. It is like a spark of that inner peace that we long for, or that inner happiness that we are running after in everything in our life. We want to feel that.
What's cool about what you're saying, and even as you're saying it, I'm thinking about it, is the fact that as we talk, even as I'm talking with you now, we have 27 different other thoughts going through our mind, but it's really cool because it helps get rid of some of those other thoughts, especially if they're negative thoughts. It just puts you in I guess I would say, a better frame of mind.
Not only better, but the absolute, the real, what you really want in life. Everybody wants to be happy, to be really feel love and feel fulfilled and contented. So now you're meditating on that infinite love, which is perfection. It's the absolute, it's the divine, it's the, you name it, that infinite consciousness. You are meditating on that, and you're kind of, getting to experience that, because we are, it is in us, it is everything is made out of that. Our physical body, it's not us. When you look into the body, there is nobody at home. Where is, who am I? Who is God? What is God? Even that concept that people have, they don't know what that really feels like. So this self-realization is like, this is the meditation. You experience that spark of infinite love.
Let me, if I can, put you on the spot here a little bit and ask you from the standpoint of somebody watching this program or listening to it, why should they meditate, or what do you recommend? What are they going to get out of meditating?
Out of meditation, they will get total transformation of the mind. That should be the aim. You can get relaxation, you can get some peace just by going into nature and sitting under the tree, looking into the stars. You can feel good. But meditation is much more than that, because it's not that you want, what is the aim of your meditation? You want to feel good, you want to feel relaxed, you want to be, anxiety free. Those are byproducts. But meditation can take you much further. It's like it's a transformation. So that at will, you can tell yourself, I'm perfectly wonderful. I have no problems, and I'm full of joy and happiness. And by saying that, you mean it. You know that your mind is, you have trained your mind to be on that level. It's like depression is a mental state that you have been telling yourself, I'm depressed, nobody loves me, I'm alone, I can't do this, I can't do that. And all this, self bringing you down in a way by your own self-talk. So meditation just has the ability to really transform the mind. If meditation does not transform the mind, it means it is not working yet.
Is there a best place to meditate?
There are very good places to meditate. There are two types of places. One is your own private place. Means you in your wherever you live, you prepare a corner, and that corner will just, be your meditation corner. You don't have the dog sit there, you don't work there, you don't put your computer there. It's a little secluded place And that invites you always just to kind of take time out. And then the other place is with other people together, collectively. You meditate together with others. That enhances the environment because many people do the same thing. It supports you. Both meditations are very good, individual and guided meditation or group meditation.
Didi, how about something my wife's starting to do? And she actually meditates with friends on the phone. Have you seen that at all, or know people who do that?
I would say it's probably something like guided meditation,
Right.
affirmation, auto-suggestion. Those are parts of the meditation culture that we see now everywhere, which is wonderful. And in this meditation culture, they're just simply, meditations that can take you much deeper.
Well, why my wife likes it is it gets her to connect with her friend in Florida, that ordinarily she wouldn't be able to be in touch with. But I don't quite get it myself, but they once a week or so they'll meditate together in different locations. But I think that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. I think the meditation has taken is now all over the world. It has become like part of life in so many people's lives. Doesn't matter which place and which religion or which society, it has become simply a very soft way to heal yourself. And that is good. Yes.
Now, we're not going to do this today, but I guess people will also meditate even via Zoom, or they have a guided meditation via Zoom. Have you heard of that happening?
Yes, yes. We also do that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Talk about also in terms of your practice. So you it's I think it's incredible that you, even though you have meditated for a long period of time, you still study meditation, or you take meditation courses, or you study with other people. Is this like a lifelong thing?
I like to connect with other people because I enjoy their company. But practices, I have my practices and I do them sincerely, and since ever I have not really looked into other methods because the one I have is quite successful in I have seen myself, learn a lot of things since I started meditation. It really has been with me forever, and I teach it to others. So I'm fully into that. But I meet other people and I enjoy the company and I learn from them and we share so many things.
Now, if you would talk about the tie-in between yoga and meditation, and I know you're involved in that as well. How do the
Yes.
two relate?
So yoga is also a practice. It is a daily practice that helps the body to be actually flexible and fit to sit with a straight back for a longer period. So actually yoga helps meditation. And of course it helps in so many other preventive ways to keep yourself healthy. And so we practice yoga, like let's say 2 or 3 poses in the morning and in the evening on a regular basis. And according to our spiritual teacher, he selected 40 poses from amongst thousands. And those 40 poses are, we also prescribe them according to certain problems people may have, maybe 3 or 4 or 2 or 3, whatever combination. And then you just practice them regularly and they just keep the mind in that level. They help the nerves, the glands, they have helped the entire physical body.
Is this separate then from meditation? Can you be doing both at the same time? Can you do yoga and meditate at the same time?
Now you do your meditation first. Your meditation is still, and you don't move. You sit in the pose with the back straight, and then after you do the asanas, the movement, which is usually fixed poses.
So are you telling me I can't watch TV at the same time and meditate?
I know you can do that.
Be able to, or I can't do a podcast, or I can't be meditating as you and I are talking.
Well, there is a way of meditating. We don't say meditating, but uh, you can you can almost say like open eye meditation, where you simply watch your movements, watch your actions, and your interaction with all kind of objects. And the underlying spirit is that everything is pure consciousness. You are that, I am that. Our words are also pure consciousness, and I am inspired by that pure consciousness to say the things which are beneficial to others. So in this way, everything, the entire universe is a manifestation of pure consciousness, which is like the essence. Just like water is formed into different snowflakes and icicles and so many forms of ice, but underlyingly it is water. So the consciousness is in everything.
But I would imagine you'd recommend, if people are interested in this, that they don't do this open-eye, I never heard that before, but open-eye meditation, but don't do it while driving. Would that be a recommendation? Not a good idea.
You have to be a little bit careful.
Okay, but no, in all seriousness, given it's an interesting spin I never heard before. So if you're walking or in nature or just enjoying life, there's nothing wrong to be also meditating at that time as well.
Yeah, exactly. Just be aware. Are you thinking from your mind, which is carrying the load of your individuality, or are you from pure consciousness, which is simply you become like an instrument and this consciousness flows through you. Whatever you look at, whatever you see, whatever you touch, whatever you hear, you kind of transcend it into that universal sound of the cosmos.
What about the tie-in with meditation to religion? Is there a relationship or tie-in?
Religion has been actually addressing the concept of God. So that concept of God, when I was a teenager, I put it on the back burner because I thought I cannot totally comprehend, why I am in this religion and what's about the other religion, etc. But then when I came to meditation, I realized that it is actually spiritual. Spiritual means it touches the concept of the infinite, the God, the absolute, the creation. And then I realized that it is the essence of all religions. You have to be spiritual in order to embrace the entire universe. All people are one family. Like in Egypt, they always ask me if I am a Muslim. Then I tell them, but how many gods are there? There cannot be two gods.
Right.
So they say, of course, only one God. I said, yes, one God. So why do you ask me? And the whole humanity is one family. So that is that spiritual, thing. That meditation helps to expand the mind, and then you cannot see two gods. This is impossible. There are no two absolute entities. There's only one absolute, and which is like a straight line, and everything is curvature, vibrational, and we are one humanity.
So what I hear you saying, and it's kind of a nice thing, is that regardless of your religion, at least be open to the possibility that meditation might be helpful to you. It's regardless of your religion.
Yes, definitely. I think you will become very sensible, sensitive to the to your own experience. What do you do with the religion that you have? How do you look at the world? How do you look at another human being and the plants, animals, all the connectedness? So meditation simply supports that, expansion of the mind and heart to
One of the
have
things,
everybody in your circle of love.
in terms of meditating, you said you started at the age of 19. Is there a certain age that's good for children to start meditating, or should they wait to be a certain age? how do you deal with that?
Yeah, a child can meditate already when they're 5 years old. They have a sense of themselves, who am I, and they can understand a little bit their own mind and their own longing for just breathe and feel love and feel peace inside. So from the age of 5, they can meditate, and I would tell them 5 minutes, and the age of 6 minutes, and then build up until you become teenager, and then you can meditate for 20 minutes.
That's pretty cool in terms of, I never thought of it before until you mentioned it, but for a child to have some quiet time for himself or herself, what an ideal way, I'm not kidding, I'm serious about this. Rather than a parent put a child in a corner or have quiet time in a corner, wouldn't it be a cool thing for parents to tell children, why don't you just meditate now for a little bit? It would be a powerful technique.
And I have learned this from a family, and they say the mother will call the child breakfast. That means meditation. You first spend 5 minutes or whatever minutes in the meditation corner, wherever the room is, and then you come to breakfast. Or lunch.
Nice.
Okay, you first go and wash up, and then you go and spend the time meditating, and then you come.
Very sweet. Is there a best time to then meditate? In other words, you mentioned twice a day. Should you do it before meals, after meals? Best time to do it?
Yeah, before meals and early morning after you take a shower or you wash yourself, like an ablution, and then in the evening before dinner, like sunrise and sunsets, that is the best time. It is, the nature is supporting the energy, the meditative process. That is when you should meditate.
One of the other benefits of meditation, and you can update me on this, but I've read about it, was always impressed that meditation has also been used with prisoners, and people in the penal systems. Have you heard about that, or what?
Yes,
what's that all about?
I used to go to the maximum security prison in Illinois, and we had quite a wonderful group of meditators there.
Did you? How long did you do that for?
Oh, that time I was in Carbondale, Illinois. So I did it for quite some time, like months and months, maybe years even.
Wow. And so it was a change in behavior of the prisoners?
Oh, yes. They become, they just love it. They, for them, it's like, where they are fine beyond whatever the world is judging them. But, it's like you go to another level where you're connected with the universe. And in the universe, everything is, it has a cause, and, has all this cause and effect. And you go just even beyond the cause and effect into a pure space of bliss.
Well, talk about that. Just as you're mentioning it, it's a very interesting idea for people, not only in terms of prisoners, but I imagine it will also help certain teenagers, and especially teenagers who've had problems or acting out or creating problems for other people. Can this be used as well?
Definitely, it is the best for young people. Meditation is like the panacea, because you are your own measure. See, once you learn the technique and you just say goodbye, teacher, thank you very much, and then you just sit down and do it. Just like you buy a car and then you have the car and then you drive wherever you want to drive. So you become automobile, it's like you sit and you just feel where you are, who you are, and where you are going, what is the meaning of your life. Yeah, it is wonderful. And you heal yourself from inside yourself, because we have so much potentiality and we can just unfold it through the meditation.
Learn meditation. What's the best way?
Yeah, so the meditation, if you have the technique, that is the best way. You need a good technique, because without a technique, you will make up your own style of meditation, but it's from your own mind. You need a meditation technique from let's say, someone who used it, someone who guarantees the success. So even the mantras, you can take a mantra, but it comes from your own mind. But if the mantras, according to yoga meditation philosophy, it must be a proven mantra. Means somebody used it to elevate the mind from the lowest to the highest, self-realization, and then made that word into a powerful mantra because they used it, it worked. That's called Siddha mantra. So you get those powerful mantras, and then you use them along with the technique, and that is the best meditation.
And so how do you find somebody to teach you meditation?
They say whenever you are ready, the teacher will come. It is so true, because you will, that is life. You just want it. If you have the strong desire, and somehow it happens.
No, I'm saying that for somebody who wants it but doesn't know how to start doing it, do they look on the internet? Do they contact you? Do they, how do they find that?
So if they would like to experiment with our meditation, of course, they can contact us, and it is for free. This technique doesn't cost money. You can learn all the 6 lessons, and it may take, some time to practice all this, but you can learn all this for free.
Well, since you mentioned it, Didi, if anybody would be interested in speaking with you or learning from you, if they wanted to contact you, what's the best bet?
Yeah, so they can contact me on the Facebook under Didi Anandarama, and they also can locally call. We have in Asheville here locally, we have a cosmic vision shop that is selling things, and the persons there, they are good contacts to guide you how to learn the meditation.
Now, you just mentioned it, the cosmic, you said Cosmic Vision is the name of the place?
Yes,
And
Cosmic
so that's,
Vision. It's on Lexington Avenue.
and what's interesting, I didn't realize this. Did you start that place?
That is my friend who is running it. She's from Brazil, and she has been running it for many, many years. She started it, and she can also teach the meditation.
Okay, so we should mention, and since you mentioned it, it's Didi Ananda Yuza, is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ananda Usha.
Right, and she's at a local meditation teacher, and she's at, I'll just repeat, I'll give the phone number and repeat it slowly, but 719-502-1138, and that's again 719-502-1138 to reach another Didi, and she's a local meditation teacher, and she also, Cosmic Vision, that store is still in business?
Yes.
Okay, and that's if you want to contact them. I guess there's one other contact we should mention, Women's Wellness Department. And what's that, Didi?
Oh, that is doing various social service projects in the area, and even the shop, the Cosmic Vision, is selling products and things for the profit of these service projects that we are involved with in Haiti and in Jamaica and different parts of the world.
By the way, I just want to give a shout out and thank you to a mutual friend of ours, Mira Price, who helped set up this interview with you and also is involved and provided some of that information. So thanks, Mira, if you're watching this or listening to this. And before I let you off the show, Didi, let me ask you to talk a little bit about this upcoming trip you have. So you mentioned earlier you're going to Egypt, I guess, this coming Friday?
Yes.
Okay. How long will you be in Egypt for?
Just a few weeks.
Okay. And what will you be doing in Egypt?
So I'm just, I was staying there for 16 years, and I started a project, this Nile River School, and I'm just going back to see the village and meet my friends, and now the local people are running it, and yeah, I just want to connect with them and see how everything is.
And very exciting. And the people in the school or the project, I assume they've been taught meditation, or they all meditate?
In some way, yes, we have meditation circles with them, and we have done yoga with them. and they know my diet is vegetarian, so they know my lifestyle, and they're acquainted with it. For them to practice that is still, life sometimes doesn't give them the chance to really practice the meditation.
And so when you're traveling, when you come back then to Asheville, do you then you resume your meditation practice, or in Asheville area, do you teach meditation?
Yeah, I teach wherever I am, and I practice, of course, regularly my own meditation that is constant with me all my
Okay,
life.
so the best bet, if folks want to get in touch with you again, I'll have you repeat it. Best bet is to find you on Facebook, if they're on Facebook, and they can find you
Yeah.
at Facebook under what?
Yeah, Facebook under Didi Anandarama, and they can write to me, and wherever I am, I'm happy to meet people and, teach, make some arrangement with them. Either I will teach, or my friends, my colleagues can teach them any parts of the world. So this meditation is all the countries.
Okay,
It has
well,
been for 100 years.
it's been around for a while. By the way, that's interesting. You just mentioned that. So how, I guess, meditation said 100 years. How long has it been around, or is there exact time when it started?
Actually, it's about 70, 75 years that it's started as a movement. And before that, of course, meditation is
Right.
even much older, of course.
It's been around. Well, anyway, I want to thank you for being my guest on this edition of the Blaine's World podcast. I also like to thank my producer, Cappy Tassetti, and hopefully we'll see you. Maybe sometime we'll bump into each other when you get back from Egypt. Have a great trip.
Thank you very much. Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks, Didi. So I'm going to sign off, and stay with me right after we sign off. You be well.